Jah Rastafari give thanks.
Chris, try copying this file onto your laptop. See if it
If it's not there, it's okay, we'll
That's
just
all right.
roll because the time is already on us.
Okay. Bernard mentioned that we'll be stopping at 8 only for tonight because the Prime Minister has a special
Oh,
announcement.
okay, all right. Okay. Okay.
If it's not,
I'll
try it one more time.
I'll just try it, but while we're going through,
Okay.
yes, go ahead.
All right. And it's properly connected, right?
Good double check. Or triple check.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Don't you want something more comfortable? That one's kind of tall and it kind of rocks. Yeah. Just because, in case you know.
It doesn't sweep through.
Yes. Yeah.
Just as we live on YouTube also, give thanks for all those of you who have joined us. I'm just pouring some cocoa tea. While we'll be live, we'll just be drinking some cocoa tea. Definitely we give thanks. Never rest your food on the floor. As we do give thanks for life and a mighty life, give and we give thanks for all good things around us as from Zion above. So we praise for right for his divine love. Definitely we give thanks as we have just joined us once more on the Food of Seven, which is live on Calabash television here in St. Lucia. And also we have our live YouTube going forward. We give thanks for all those people who have joined us on YouTube and also on Calabash TV on Facebook. You could also see us there. So it's a new day. As they say that the day begins with darkness. So definitely as we are here in this wonderful day, as the darkness have actually taken over the light of the sun, and the beauty of the moon is actually, and the stars, because you know how it is really in life. It is most times people leave out the things that they cannot see. So sometimes people see stuff and then they only concern about what they see, but they don't really even know exactly what the unseens are, meaning that there are things that people just don't see. So even if right now you look up, you don't see the moon, it doesn't mean that the moon is not there. Or you don't see a particular star, it doesn't mean that the star is not there. Or even if because you don't see the sun, doesn't mean the sun is not there, it's just that you're not seeing it. And because of how things are really and truly in the world, how people basically believe like what they perceive with their physical being, their eyes and the nose, and what they have, the ears, and what they might feel on the skin. To them, that's the only reality. And then they allow that perception, their perception based upon number one, the knowledge base, what it is that they know, probably what school they went to and what they learn and whatever. Some people just okay, you might see a vehicle might come into your garage and a man might say, wow, boy, that vehicle sound good. And then another man might say, that sounds like a bearing knock, just because he studied. So that sound, based upon the knowledge base of someone, basically could mean completely different things. right? And then that individual might perceive that whatever that they believe, I mean, that's it. That's some real stuff there. That's the truth. So it's important that we fully understand that our perception is not always the reality. And it is also very important that we actually make allocation whereby we could literally say, well, look, um, we are working towards making our perception the reality. So definitely you be living like, in a real time, real space, real everything, just because, I mean, it's real. So we give thanks for all those people who are here with us live on YouTube. Give thanks for those of you who have joined us. Give thanks for all those of you for Wins Universal. I don't know whether you are hearing us clearly. If you are, just give us a blessed love, honorable Goddess Uhuru. Give thanks for all those people who are with us live. And I know that it's a while since we did that at YouTube, and we're live on Calabash on Facebook and also live on TV in St. Lucia. But as we say, is this: your perception is not always the reality, right? Perception is just based upon your knowledge base, your point of view. And if you are looking from on top down, you're seeing something different than if you're looking from below and you are looking up. So your reality basically is based upon your point of view. And most times people just believe that their point of view is the only view that exists, which is wrong. That's not right. Everyone has a perspective. Everyone has a fundamental knowledge base. Everyone has a beginning. Everyone specifically have a place where they are coming from, and everyone has a fundamental understanding of things based upon their knowledge base. So it is very good that we learn just to appreciate, love everyone, and then we just embrace everyone's perception and help them to actually see what reality is about, what is reality. Okay, so today basically what I just wanted to touch on, as our previous program, we look at the whole aspect of how things are right now, with the whole aspect of all the debate in the whole aspect of coronavirus and what people expect, and countries opening up, and those people who want to wear masks, those who don't want to wear masks, and also you have plenty of people who are against vaccines, and people who basically say this whole thing, there's a thing whereby, okay, boy, Chris, these people that want to give us vaccines, and they just want to just get us sick and then just give us vaccine. Why did they create this virus in a lab? People say all type of stuff. And as we were discussing in the previous program, we look at the whole aspect of the DNA virus and the RNA virus. And we said, well, look, the influenza virus, just like the influenza virus, the H1N1 virus, plus all the coronaviruses, basically, and also the HIV virus, right? All these viruses are what we call RNA viruses. So basically, it is always very difficult to find vaccines or to develop vaccines for RNA viruses. And if it is that you remember carefully, the reason we said is because they are single strand, and that means that they mutate very quickly. And this is why we said that, look, every year you have 2 or 3 flu vaccines. So you might have one early in the year, one mid-year, one to the end of the year. Why? Because the virus that you might have taken the vaccine for in the beginning of the year is a different virus than the virus that you are actually dealing with today. Okay? Yeah, so they might not give you that explanation, but that is really the reality. The reality is this, is that these things, they mutate. Why? Because they are single strand. We explained that the DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid, is double strand. So that means that it is more stable. So a double stranded virus, right? Because there are DNA viruses also, right? These viruses specifically would be maintaining a structural integrity. So it is much easier to actually create a vaccine. So the whole principle of vaccine is not something that is innately wicked, because there is something called inert immunity, whereby you get exposed to particular pathogens. That means that you are exposed to disease-causing organisms, and your system, your physical structure, being exposed to these particular organisms, then go through a process of what you call acquired immunity, right? Whereby you acquire an immune response to a particular antigen, which is basically what you would call your pathogens. Okay, they say, well, bacteria and virus or whatever. Okay, but there are certain pathogens, disease-causing organisms that's outside there. And even cancer cells. I mean, come on. Your physical structure would be able to identify foreign cells within your physical structure that is not like ordinary cells that probably is growing like tumors, like lumps, someplace and somewhere, and then develop antibodies or antibodies. So if you have some baddies, some bad boys or bad girls in your physical structure, your immune system has that potential to create what we call antibodies. And these antibodies or antibodies now, they have memory. So you have memory cells that could say, oh, I took care of you yesterday and you are here again today. And yesterday, all I had to do was to squeeze your hair and press your hair and punch your hair, and that's it, and you disappeared. So when your physical structure have actually developed what you call the antibodies to a particular pathogen or antigen, what happens is that it records that within your physical structure. So in the future, when you are exposed to that same pathogen, you already have that knowledge with your physical structure to combat it and destroy it quickly. Give thanks, Adam Alfred. I think I should go on a tea break. As you know, we have some cocoa tea. And, you know, these are some of the things that we'll specifically be having. Not you on YouTube. I know most of you probably in America or England or someplace. You know, some other place in the world. But I mean, you could always fly down. Just now the airports will be open. The airports are already open in St. Lucia, so you could fly down and have some cocoa tea with us. So the cocoa tea that we have there is 100% cocoa. I mean, made right here in St. Lucia, pounded in malt and pestle, rolled with love until all the creamy butter and the oils actually come out of it. As you know, cocoa contains tryptophan. It's not really taking you on a trip. I mean, tryptophan is basically a precursor to serotonin, the feel-good hormone. So when you drink cocoa, you feel good. So I want to feel better, so I'm going to take a sip of my cocoa tea. Give thanks, Jah Rastafari. Yes, so the cocoa tea that we're going to be offering also at the restaurant in Castries here, Livity, we'll be offering cocoa tea and herbal teas and all these different things there specifically. And also our program tonight is going to end at 8 o'clock. Why? Because there is some political announcements, but normally, you know, we go until 8:30. And what we're going to be doing in the future, we're going to have some specific segments where we just focus on the herbs for the next 7 days, that at least you could be educated in knowing exactly what it is and how it is that you're supposed to actually be utilizing it. Okay, man, Adam, man, you say you have a big glass of cold distilled water. At this time, you're drinking cold distilled water, and the temperature of the outside is different. So you have to take something warm to actually balance your in and your out. So cocoa tea is very potent, very rich in tryptophan, very rich in iron. I mean, very rich in what they call omega fatty acids, and also the fat in it, the cocoa fat in it softens and softens all your arteries, so it helps in your circulatory system. And definitely you should have some cocoa tea. And because it helps with circulation, that's why they call it cocoa, because it also has what they call aphrodisiac properties. It helps the man and also the woman to actually boost up their circulation. And you know, an erection is basically a circulation phenomena. There is no bone in the penis. The penis gets erect through an increase in blood flow. So any herb that actually helps in the increase in the blood flow actually helps with an erection. So the cocoa tea, good for the cocoa, right? Helps with your circulatory system. So definitely, when we talk about the whole aspect of your immune system, it is important, instrumental, that you fully understand that the immune system is not just your white blood cells or your natural killer cells or your macrophages, things that eat up stuff in your physical structure, because there are times that different substances come inside of your physical structure. You might breathe it in, you might get through your eyes or get through your nose, or you know, your skin is your first defense, immune system defense. Your skin is like the biggest organ, barrier, inside, outside. that is part of your immune system. It protects you from the barriers. You know, that barrier here protects you from whatever that might be actually coming in your physical structure. But yet still, we're talking about immunity, whereby your immune system, microscopic, meaning that you need a microscope to actually see them, micro, very tiny, nanometer, right, to see, scopic to visualize. So you need a microscope to actually magnify this, to actually see it. Yet still, it has memory. Memory in the effect that it could actually remember whatever it's been exposed to and then create antibodies and bam, destroys it. Okay, all right. So that's a principle whereby vaccines actually supposed to come from. But if it was me, I wouldn't really call it a vaccine because okay, the name alone is a sin because everybody know what sin is. I mean, but you know that baka is cow, all right? So baka, el baka, okay, cow, and Latin and Spanish is very close. So vaccine, or I mean, the pawns of cows. You know, in India they used to, you know, people worship cows. The Hindi people, I mean, they don't, you know, they have this kind of a relationship with their cattle, right? So they see it differently. But it was the pans, like pans, right? You know, the people take pans and they used to treat stuff with pans. They, oh wow, they treat the stuff with the pans and they say, okay, all right. So the system could actually recognize that. So I mean, then they say, well, Louis Pasteur discovered the first vaccine. Yeah, right. I mean, you know how they just whitewash everything and then just steal our things and make it theirs. You know, all our surgeries and all these different type of stuff. We've been doing that for thousands of years, and all of a sudden, there comes Louis Pasteur with pasteurization, and he's supposed to be the one that teaches us to boil stuff to actually make them last longer. I don't believe that at all. Our ancestors definitely had all these things they covered, from brain surgery to root canals, all 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years ago. Dynasties into Kemet, right? Yeah, so our ancient surgical manuscript, they went into Africa, they stole it, and all now they have it in Russia and germs many, you know, and in there, I mean, when they're really going to begin to give the African man the credit for his brilliance, I don't know. I mean, that's why you have to take the credit. And they say, well, self-praise is no praise. I say self-praise is the first praise. If you don't praise yourself, who's going to praise you? So I believe in praising myself. And I don't care what anybody say, right? I will praise myself every day. I mean, come on, I'm going to praise. I'm going to give thanks. Praise, boy, wow, man, give thanks for what you're doing. Okay, yeah. I mean, so if no one says give thanks for what you're doing, you're going to feel sad. You're not going to praise yourself, whatever. So it's important to fully understand that the core principle of a vaccine is nothing foreign. You're supposed to allow children to play in the dirt. Yeah, I mean, it's good. Play in the dirt. Yeah, eat some dirt. Yeah, children eat dirt and play in dirt and all that type of stuff. Why? Because they expose themselves to lots of microbes, microscopic organisms. Hence, when the immune system is exposed to it, they produce antibodies that have memory cells that when your physical structure in the future is exposed to that same microbe, it could quickly elicit what you call an immune response and destroy it. Nothing impossible. It is just natural common sense that, but as they say, common sense is not too common. I'm gonna try to run IV. I'm gonna run again, beloved. Let me see what happens. But after the intercession at 7:30, definitely we will just see how it goes. But I'm gonna just run this here again and see what happens. I'm gonna quit it first and then I'm gonna run it. Thanks for our technician in the house. It's still looking for you. Yeah, so definitely it is very important that at the end of the day, when it comes to that, we understand that. Oh yes, it's not that you against the core principles of of developing an immune system. It is just that the mannerism and the motive of it. Okay, right. So if I know that something's gonna help my child to be better, I'm going to definitely go into it. But if I know that my child is going to take something and then they might die, I will reconsider. I will, oh, okay, I will not consider at all any risk at all. I try to minimize risk. Okay, all right. So at the end of the day, um, if it is that someone is gonna present a vaccine to us, and I mean we are intellectually savvy people. I mean we know our stuff. Saint Lucia have two Nobel laureates. So why is it that someone else in Saint Lucia not supposed to be? I mean we have less than 200,000 people and we have two Nobel laureates. China, I mean Japan does have one if over hundreds of millions of people. You understand? So I mean, I'm sure we compete in a big country. So why is it that you from Saint Lucia, as a physician or as a scientist, don't have the intellectual capacity to develop or not develop, create something that is good? Okay. So then, if it is that someone might say, well, look, why is it you put mercury in the vaccine, or why is it you put in fetal extracts, or you put in lead and you put in um, all kind of stuff in the vaccines and placental extracts and all type of stuff, if you somebody's asking, it's just good questions, because at the end of the day, whether you're a doctor or you're a nurse, you have children. All right. And since it is that we have seen an influx in autism and all these other types of conditions, it is just important that we question what are the effects of heavy metals on our children. All right. So then your child is just born out of the womb, comes out, and the first thing they get is pow, they get shot. Oh, you must take your shots. Okay, and then afterwards, they have to maybe 2 or 3 shots. After a couple of months, go back and take some more shots, and then get the boosters. Right? What's a booster? A booster is that they just put more of the virus inside of your blood, so your immune system could produce more antibodies, and probably a different strain come and be a booster. So that's not boosting, that's killing you. So the best way, I would say, from my humble view, last time every time I talk about vaccine, people, they brought me in front of a whole board. The last time I talked about, not some time ago, I spoke about vaccine, and I to take a sip of cocoa tea when I'm talking about this one here, boy. Mm, thanks for life. So once I talk about vaccine, and they said, well, Chris Kailash, man, you're discouraging people from taking vaccine. You see, if the vaccines were made in St. Lucia by a doctor in St. Lucia, I would have feel more. I feel freer, even if it was a man from St. Vincent. Why, but Chris Kailash, but So what? So what happens to St. Vincent? Belgium can't do a vaccine. That's good for us. Of course we can. But I'm saying that the purpose of that is money. So you have companies rushing to make vaccine, and they make billions of dollars out of vaccination. So I'm saying that purpose alone, I have to scratch my head and say, oh my goodness, if the motive is making money, then why should I trust that? As soon as my baby that is so fragile comes out of the womb, I'm gonna take an injection with lead and mercury and fetal extract and a little bit of this and a little bit of that and that into the bloodstream. As a scientist, I would question that. Okay? Right? So if it is that something good could be created that I could just pass on the cheeks of my baby or whatever, or even if I have to do intravenous, if I know it's good stuff, I wouldn't mind. But if you tell me, well, there's a possibility that my baby might die if I inject them with that, I would never do that. That is just the truth, brother. So I'm saying that when we come again, we're gonna just talk about things that you could do to boost up your immune system. Stay strong. And it's not only about corona or about this, it's about everything. I mean, 100 people will have sex with a woman with HIV/AIDS, and 10 might get it and 90 might not get it. So it all depends on your immune system. Somebody might sneeze in your face and you might get the flu, and sneeze in somebody else's and they don't get it. All depends on your immune system. So how is it that you as an individual could boost up your immune system to protect you from all these terrible, 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 terrible conditions? So definitely we will give one intercession when you come again at 7:42. When we come again, we're going to continue to talk about some things you can utilize to help to boost up your immune system. And definitely remember that um, we are live once more on Calabash. We've been dormant for a little while. In fact, this is our second program. So tell a friend to tell a friend that yes, we are live again on Calabash. So those of you on YouTube also, if you have any questions, when I come again, just type your questions while we are in the session. So when I come again, we could address your questions. And also, I don't know whether we're going to open up the lines tonight, but we'll just be discussing about things that you could do to boost up your immune system. Bless the Lord. Yes, YouTube, you know that I have intercession over there, but you are still live here. Let me just do a bit of fixing here. Pardon me, beloved. Okay. That's to be
Any luck,
better.
Chris?
Huh? Yeah, go through, man. Bless.
Any luck with the
No.
new file?
Oh, no, I didn't even try that because I was thinking. So you want me to try it now?
Yes, please. Just
Okay,
to install it
the
to
file,
see.
okay,
Because we still have to try and make sure it hold in. I don't want to hold you back afterwards.
Yeah. You're gonna hold me back, man. I'll make a conscious decision.
Yes, sir.
Stay if I have to, right?
Yes, thank
Give
you.
thanks to the Lord. Let me see that. It's not reading.
Really?
One second. So on the laptop. We moving in a jar. Probably to email it to me.
Okay. Banana, your email address?
Yes, priskiller@gmail.com.
Okay. Thanks.
Just give thanks, my lord. You have somebody up there with you, man?
Banana,
Open that there.
Banana.
Oh, tell him give thanks. Love. Yes, Mr. Bernard, give thanks. Yes, YouTube, just type your questions definitely, and as we know, we are doing this live. The screen is a bit dirty, so I'll wipe it off a bit for you so you can see better because I'm seeing it blurry. So pardon me, my compadre. I'm going to just wipe it up a bit. The website I found get the herbs from St. Lucia, but they sell out quick. Yeah, it's akimpia.com. Our herbs always sell out very quickly because why? Because they work. Okay, so you have to always check when they whenever it's available. So give thanks again as we are also live on Calabash and we're just taking a sip of cocoa tea again. That's a thing from St. Lucia. That's an ancient thing that we raise up in St. Lucia doing, and you see most of the things that we actually learn in St. Lucia we take it for granted, and that's one thing that I would recommend everyone. I mean, use your cocoa tea and plant some cocoa bean seeds and make your own cocoa tea. I grew up doing that. I literally grew up with my pounding things and okay, I'm roasting it in some sand and some in a big pan and then taking out the shells, nice and hot and pounding it, and the smell was always so beautiful. So give thanks. So definitely now we forward. Let me just see what okay. Have you seen the ingredient that vaccines are made with? Things like unborn fetuses, etc. Okay, Margie Harris, if you could send us a label, that is, That's good. Um, you are quite right. It's all about the moon. Okay, yes. Protect yourself with these teas and tonics. Source uplifts. Okay, all right. Now, when it comes to the immune system, the one of the first thing is basically you have to be happy. Period. So the first step to have a fully functional immune system is happiness, meaning that you have to literally be a happy person. What does that mean? It means that it means that you have to stop fussing and quarreling and fighting and looking for issues and all type of things specifically. What you have to do, you have to be happy and you have to be gracious. Be able to show gratitude. You know, many times people die just because of things that they hold. You see that one of the things that kill people. I mean, most times I when I look at okay, all right. When I look at the whole aspect of us as a people, and I say, well, look, why is it that people literally have to suffer? I don't know why people have to suffer, man. People suffer because of choice, and people die because of their choice. You know, and at the end of the day, when it is that people just allow themselves to just die because of some simple little choices, and the great majority of our females, for sure, the woman, right, for sure, the great majority of them suffer from fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome, um, cervical cancer, fibrocystic breast, obesity. You know, many of our sisters literally suffer from all types of conditions just because they hold on to emotional traumas, things that they have gone through for years. So we must understand that. You must understand that or overstand that the first step in healing and to boost up your immune system is to be happy. How is it that you could begin to show gratitude? Gratitude for the simplest little things that happen with you. It might be as simple as what we say as ABC, right? Simple as ABC, but at the end of the day, what happens is that you show gratitude, meaning that you say, well, give thanks. So many times we have been through some rough stuff, some really rough stuff, and then we make that rough stuff become our life. So whatever a single experience that person have, that person have make that experience their life. Meaning that every conversation that they have, that's what they're talking about, that past experience. And okay, just like somebody say, well, Chris, I'm a diabetic. I say, what you mean you are diabetic? Maybe you suffer from diabetes. But they have actually given themselves, they have they are calling themselves a term. They are diabetic. I'm a diabetic. No. No. You might be suffering from it. So don't make your actions or whatever you've been through become your personal reality. You know, you have to basically, literally, use your reality as fuel to actually help you to boost up yourself, to get yourself bigger, to get yourself up there where you're supposed to be. So you could have gone through the worst type of situation. I'm sure someone watching the program and they're trying to call now. Don't call now, please. Right? The worst kind of situation, and at the same time, that worst situation could be used as artillery to actually make you someone extraordinary. After all, they say diamonds are found in the depths of the earth. Oysters are deep, deep, deep down, and then you find little pearls In the core of the earth, you have to mine for your goal. You have to mine, M-I-N-E, mine, right? Even for your oil, you have to mine. So the greatest of things, it takes a process to actually get it. And then after you get it, the process of purifying it is basically, I mean, you know how hot you have to heat gold to actually purify it. You know how hot you have to heat stuff to actually get it good. So our experiences, what we've been through, the heat of it, the warmth of it, definitely is for our benefit and for our upliftment. So every experience that you have, embrace it. Be happy, show gratitude. That's the first step to boost up your immune system. A sad person would always be sick. If you say you always be sick and sad story. And as I say, stay away from sad story people. Don't make any sad story person your friend. I mean, trust me, sad story people, stay away from them. Anyone, every time you see them is a sad story, tell them pre-skill I say not to talk to you. Okay, and it's alright. I'll take full credit for that. Okay, don't deal with sad story people. Sad story people, they bring down your vibration down there. And if it is that you're not able to rise your vibration and their vibration, stay away from them. Some but pressure. Okay, alright, whatever. If you feel like that's your business, go ahead. Okay, KK, blessed love, what's the best thing to clean your blood? Well, you could ask Trump, he might tell you disinfectant. And Trump wasn't saying something bad, when Trump said, oh, well, probably you could get a disinfectant and put in the blood and see how it could help. The man was right, really. Probably you can. If you had asked Brewski that question, people make a whole show out of it and say, well, boy, Trump said people should drink disinfectant. Of course, but a natural blood detoxifier disinfects the blood. I mean, okay, you break the word down. Disinfect. Okay? Disinfectant. All right, so something that removes an infection. So I say, okay, yeah, man, you could use elderberry, or you could use gully root, or you could use cassia lata, or you could use neem or sime contra. And all these things are disinfectant herbs, or detoxifying herbs. They are disinfectants. So there are natural disinfectants that you could actually put inside of you to disinfect your physical structure. So if I was Trump's chief advisor, I wouldn't feel ashamed. I'd say, yeah, Trump, yeah, man. Yeah, man, of course, man. You have cassia lata, you have neem, you have sime contour, you have vervine, you have what else? Burdock root, you have what? Milk thistle, what you have else? Senna alata, what else you have? Plenty different stuff you have that you could use to disinfect your physical structure. Huh? Yeah, so there's nothing wrong in that. The concept, the principle is a very sound principle. Of course. So I didn't laugh at it or say that the man is a madman. I didn't do that. Even if he says some stuff, but and that as a healer, I would quickly just tell a man exactly what it is that he can utilize. Can we talk about conditions that we put on ourselves, such as sexual diseases? How do we cleanse ourselves from that? I mean, as long as you are diseased, that means that you are not at ease. And as I said that, okay, even if you put a sexual disease upon yourself, it doesn't mean that you have to make this your reality. Okay, because remember that 80% of 80% of most people, adult people, have herpes. Okay, all right. Now, a lot of people worry about herpes. I'm sure this person there is talking about herpes or some type of stuff. They but priest, the worst thing happened to me. I have herpes and then they want to die and they're talking about it with their boyfriend or their girlfriend and they don't want them to find out. And it's herpes, brethren. So what if you never went for a test? What happened then? And you never knew. Okay, so the mere fact that your state of mind is already in that state of stress and worry about herpes, or herpes, okay, you already suppress your immune system and make yourself vulnerable. So let's say you suffer from herpes, then you're going to have bumps or breakouts every time you're very stressed. right? So most times when a woman approaches a menstrual cycle, she gets very stressed. Okay, all right. So because of that level of stress, she gets a couple of bumps here and a couple of bumps there, and then oops, she has a breakout because of that stress with a menstrual cycle. Now, if you're upset, you quarrel, you fuss, and you fight, boop, menstrual cycle, first stress, quarrel, you suppress your immune system, definitely. So when you know that you say, okay, you put a disease upon yourself, when you know that you have contracted an infection, a particular type of disorder or disease, come on, man, just okay, well, give thanks. Well, give thanks. So then it affords you the opportunity to create a strategy whereby you yourself will actually work towards uplifting yourself and make yourself wholesome and full and up there. You don't have to sit down and cry about it every single day. You know, nah. You're just killing yourself. So the first step is to deal with it. All right. So you've been diagnosed with that. So you gotta do that. Okay, all right. So how are you gonna boost up your immune system in 10 minutes? Be happy. Number one, takes care of 70% of your immune system. Happiness, gratitude, being stress-free, confidence, good over evil. The rest of the 40% is your eat and drink. Okay, all right. So first thing in the morning when you get up, it's good for you to say a prayer. So you could kneel down and pray. What it does, it actually helps you to stretch out your abdominal line and your abdominal muscles. Stretch out your back when you kneel and you pray. And then when you get out, you might have a bowel. You're not doing God a favor. When you pray in the morning, you're not doing God a favor. Trust me. Okay, we'll take that call from Viewfort. Yes, caller, blessed. Yes, Viewfort caller. I'm not hearing the call at all. I'm not hearing at all. I don't think the speaker is playing either. Right? So when it is that you as a person come to that point whereby you could be happy, I'm still not hearing the caller. Then you take care of 70%. First thing in the morning, you kneel down and you pray. I'm not saying that you have, I don't know which God you praise. I mean, if you praise, that's your business. You know, I praise Emperor Haile Selassie the First, Marcus Garvey, you know, King Emmanuel Charles Edward, Empress Menen. You know, I praise the woman as goddess. Yeah, trust me, that's me. That's what I praise. I praise people I can see and I could touch and feel. That's all I know. You know, I don't believe in no kind of voice in the heaven. I've never heard a voice in there. You begin to say that you have a voice speaking to you in heaven, people will say you're going cuckoo. They say that you have bipolar or something. You know, I've never heard a voice. I look at people's works, what they've done, and if they save me, then they've become my savior. So I praise them and I worship them, and I give thanks for them. So I praise Marcus Garvey, King Emmanuel Charles Edward, and Haile Selassie, and Empress Menen. Give thanks. Okay? All right. So when you pray, it's important. When you kneel, good for your bowel movement, relaxes your heavens. And even before you eat, you don't pray to eat because you're doing God a favor. When you pray, that means that you're approaching God, the Creator. What happens is that naturally your system actually calms down, and then your digestive system receives the food better. Not because you pray to do God a favor, just because you know how it is. You know that because people see God out of themselves, and they know they're afraid of God. So if they're upset and they're cursing and they're going before God, they're gonna put themselves in order. That's it. Right? So first thing in the morning, black a reference. Okay? You get some sour orange, you squeeze some water, you put a pinch of cayenne pepper, you drink that. Excellent. Or drink a glass of water. If you fasting, you drink nothing, you wait until 12 o'clock. Also, it's good to drink your herbal teas. A good tea for the morning is cocoa tea. All right? Very good. Boost up your iron levels, help with your circulatory system, omega-3 fatty acids, help with the heart health, regulate your blood sugar levels because of key antioxidants in the cocoa. Helps you regulate your blood sugar levels, boost up your immune system. All right, okay. Or you could make a sea moss tea, right? Oh yes, by the way, we do purchase herbs wholesale, but the herbs that we want this time is just, I mean, you will give us a call 451-8813, 451-8813. I won't even give the cell number because you might just call right now. Okay, 451-8813, or you could just check us at Leafity. We buy herbs. Right now, all we want is patchouli, simmer contour. We know the colors are there, but we're not hearing them. I'm so sorry, caller. I'm so sorry. But we can't hear you tonight. Maybe some other night. And probably it's a good thing that I can't hear you too. So I won't even worry about it. I give thanks for it. Was that your phone or my phone? Okay, anyway, so you could drink the cocoa tea, you could drink good herbal teas in the morning. If it is that you want to cleanse out the urinary tract, you could use cedar leaf, what they call guanaba. You know, if it is that you just want to have a good bowel movement, sometime during the day you could use a cassia. If it is that you want to boost up your iron level, you could drink some raspberry. Any of these herbal teas are excellent. It's always good in the morning to have it light. Okay, so have a CMOS recharge, we could have a macambu recharge, you could have some salads, salud. Definitely excellent for you. Right, and then lunch, right? And between lunch, plenty of water, coconut water, green juices like vervine, stinging nettle, patchouli. I mean, if you could afford it, then you could do it, right? So patchouli is very good, helps to suppress depression, helps to suppress anxiety, excellent for the digestive system, helps us to keep your stomach calm and nice and cool. So definitely, if you could keep the stomach nice and cool, you could eat the good stuff to actually help to boost up your immune system. So look at also cassia as a green juice, dandelion as a green juice, Spanish needle Spanish needle Bidens pilosa, excellent. Has antiviral properties, but also urinary system based upon what you want to clean, what you want to work upon. Green juices are the key to alkalize your physical structure and to help to that immune system to actually function properly. Exercise. So it's always good to exercise. I mean, do some physical activity. I'm not one to tell you go to gym. I don't know who gym is. I won't say, but go to the gym. Who's gym? Where would I send you to gym? Who's gym? I might say, okay, all right, go on farm. Go and get a cutlass and a fork and a hoe, and then plow some land, take a sweat, plant some seeds, till the soil, you sweating every day, you develop a relationship with the soil, the earth, you till the soil, plant, grow. After 3 weeks, if you plant the seed, you harvest lettuce and you could eat lettuce. Yeah. After 4 weeks, you plant chives, you could eat chives. So you labor, you sweat, and you could eat something from it. But you on a machine all for the whole hour, you sweating and nothing to give it out. But you could take a sweat, go in your garden, do something constructive whereby you could sweat, exercise, and still then you could actually harvest something from the garden from it. Right? So grains that you could actually consume. So I mean, if it is that you really want to boost up your immune system, they have grains that our natural foods like your macambu, very excellent. You could use your zepina, very excellent. You could use you have a national broadcast. Okay, my brother, I'll be on time. Any of these greens that is wild greens are the best greens that you could actually utilize. How best do I use a blue vervine? If you're constipated, you pound it, you squeeze it, you drink it. If it's that you want to boost up your immune system, you blend and you drink it. If it's for prostatic health, you boil the water, pour over it, and drink it as a tea. If you want to boost up breast milk, drink the white vervine instead. Any risk-taking name, seriously vervine and ramgot, soursop, cinnamon, chocolate, poison. Where you want to put different herbs. You see, there are sweet herbs and there are bitter herbs. There are hot herbs and there are cool herbs. So you must know how to blend your herbs. MP, give us a cup and definitely we'll link up. It's time for us to call it a day. Give thanks, YouTube people. All those of you had to call. I'm sorry about that. Pardon me. I don't know what was wrong with our speaker. I think it's on strike. Probably, it needs to boost up its immune system. So definitely, we need to look into the speaker's immune system here and see what we could do so next time it could actually resist. Because your computer get viruses too, so they need good immune system. Anyway, so we give thanks. Remember that We buy herbs and also we buy sea moss. So those of you who have sea moss selling, definitely give us a call 451-8813. Buy in bulk, hundreds of pounds, 1,000 pounds, whatever it is, we buy. So check us 451-8813 and definitely on WhatsApp 722-3660. Don't call now. Okay? 722-3660. So give thanks for all those of you who were with us today, who join us. And as we said, coming Sunday, we are looking to have different segments whereby we could. I hope that the computer will be the IVG will be working by that time, so at least we could show you the herbs and we could actually educate you on exactly how to use them. So we give thanks for all those of you who were with us today. Knowledge for the future, how to use how how is best, okay, how to use bean for irregular cycle. For irregular cycle, use St. John's bush. You could combine St. John's bush, bay leaf, cinnamon, cerasee, right? And number five, let's say you could use a turmeric or you could use probably calabash. Any of these things that will help to regulate your period. Okay, and stop stressing. Embrace life, love life, and take care of yourself. So give thanks for all those of you who actually checked in. Those who didn't check in, I mean, definitely you will see us. And remember, coming Sunday, we're gonna be live again. Give thanks for all those of you on YouTube who followed. Remember, you could follow us also on Instagram. Instagram. So give thanks. God is love. Let us all love. King Emmanuel VII, Adonai, God, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed love. Give thanks, YouTube. I mean, definitely. Today we have to move a bit early. So give thanks for all those of you who were with us today. For all your questions. I pray that you boost up your immune system and take care of your beautiful selves. Blessed. I have a mansion right over the hilltop in the